Anne Salz at the Mobile Marketing Forum in London, and my guest I'm very happy to be speaking with is Tarek Miknas, who is the CEO of FP7, and it's a major marketing agency in Middle East, North Africa, and you've had an excellent presentation about the opportunities there. Let's just start off with your company, and let us dive into those opportunities.
Okay, FP7 is, we're an advertising agency that it's the largest in the Middle East and North Africa. It's all the way from, we've got operations in the Gulf and the GCC, which is mostly what I talked about today, the opportunities over there, as well as the Levant area and the North African, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Egypt. Been around for about 40 years, since 1968, and it's, you know, it's a cool, exciting company that's pushing hard to play in the digital space, to play in the mobile space, and to really move ahead, to be at least in the forefront of the, how do you say, the innovation of companies, if you like.
The wave.
The way forward, at least for our industry.
Well, I mean, we're going to be learning more about your company and hearing more about it because you were talking about the opportunity in Saudi Arabia. Blew me away. 100% penetration for one, but a very interesting demographic that I don't think we were aware of fully before. So why don't you share some of those top-level results and observations? You know,
what I tried to do today is to clarify. You know, I said my part of the presentation was to make sense out of one of the most misunderstood countries in the world. And you know, Saudi Arabia, I think, gets a lot of bad press in the West, and it's usually related to opportunities for women and their system of government, their system of law. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity that comes with that, and that's what I was trying to highlight. Perhaps their system of law is different than ours, but it is one of the safest countries in the world. Women have more purchasing power than people know about. The young generation that's coming forward are constantly in communication, whether it's with their friends, whether it's with people that they don't know that are around the world. The social shift that's happening in our entire region is very dramatic, and it doesn't get a lot of press when it comes to some of the other countries besides Egypt, Tunis, Libya, Syria. The GCC doesn't, and Bahrain, but the GCC doesn't get a lot of press in terms of what are the social changes that are happening there. And with this new generation coming in that have access to so much more information, and you know, they're going to some of the best universities in the world, it's changing by force.
Well, let's talk about some of those opportunities because, for one, it's a sophisticated audience, it's a youthful audience, it's affluent, and you pointed out also the role of women. I think it was 60% of business owners are women, or they're going to be
in the future. The future role for women is great. It's but it's slowly changing, and that's a prediction. I mean, it's a.
Well, then let's go back to put on your advertising agency hat. What types of advertising would work, or what types of brands should be reaching out? Maybe it's a sophisticated smartphone app audience, or it should be messaging, or you showed Bluetooth dating. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. If you had to narrow it down to the formats that work, or the brand messages that would work, maybe consumer, you know, FMCG, I don't know. Tell me what you think would work.
I think that every brand could work. Every brand could work, and I think that it's really about being smart in how to use the knowledge of the place, the knowledge of the people, and link that to a business problem. I mean, that's really what it's all about. Anything can really work, and I think the potential is great.
Well, what have you seen work? You're an agency, so you've had clients, you've had campaigns.
Well, you know what? I think that a lot of, for example, we're working right now on a telco, telecommunication companies, and we're just creating engagement. We're creating content that goes online that people get to engage with. Today, the way that it works is people still like to take in the information. There's less of the sharing back to us, but it's a process, and the more that people get comfortable with sharing. You know, it's the first time you put your picture on Facebook. You wanted it to make sure it was perfect and it looked great. The first time you had a not so good picture on there and somebody tagged you, you're like, get rid of that tag. A year, 2 years on, you said, hey, look, everyone's got a bad picture in there. Who cares? it's in that process that we are, where people are getting a little bit more comfortable with the concept of sharing, a little bit more comfortable with the concept of uploading, engaging, participating. And once that starts to become more normal to do and more comfortable to do, people will be doing it more and more and more. So because we're still at the at the first stages of this, I think that there's a long, long way to go, and there's a lot of opportunity that we can hit in every segment, every sector, FMCGs, whether it's cars, whether it's a very unique marketplace, and the more you understand them, the more you'll be able to work around them when it comes to joining brands and the consumer.
So really quick last question to wrap up. You had some numbers at the end about ad spend, percentage of that which was mobile, percentage messaging. What can you tell me about those numbers, what you think it might be maybe next year or in 16 months from now?
I mean, it's going to get bigger, it's going to rise, it's going to improve. By how much, I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to rise as dramatically as I'd like it to. I mean, it's not going to be at 300% next year. We're at around anywhere between 3-4%. Maybe it would go up to 7, maybe up to 6 to 7, which is already a dramatic step forward. But when it still comes to the advertising budgets, it's still a small piece of the pie.
But as you did point out, it is an untapped opportunity, or one for brands to explore. I want to thank you, Tarek, for being my guest. For bnetTV, GoMo News, and Mobile Groove, I'm Peggy Anne Salz.
Thank you for having me.